Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Gaming Girl podcast. I'm your host, Doom Cutie, and as always, I'm joined by my incredible panel. We have the effervescent Ellie.
I did not get the memo about the colour scheme today, so I'm in neutrals.
That was a colour scheme?
The red?
Ah! Oh, this is like a peach pink. It's just like I've got the top light off, so like it's differently illuminated. Yeah.
And obviously the illuminated Shay.
You're non-illuminated today. Hello, everybody. How are we?
Yes, you are correct. So our chat has just asked us, we're not live on YouTube today, and that is correct, because we were honestly getting the most interaction live on Twitch, and I will upload the VOD onto YouTube for the people that watch our episodes after the fact, which is mostly people on YouTube. So yeah, makes sense. Incredible.
Changes, adaptations. That's what we do over here at Confessions of a Gamer Girl. We adapt, we meld.
We roll with the times.
We do that.
Did you say
we what?
Huh?
Did you say we melt?
No, meld with the D.
Oh!
That's the word.
No, it is. No, sorry. I thought you said melt, and I was like, well, I mean, you're not wrong, but I didn't think that's something we did on purpose. Okay.
Well, we do melt now that it's summer. Yes. Well, spring, but you know, a couple of days from summer.
Yeah.
A couple of days from summer.
I was thinking that we just melt the hearts of all gamer kind.
Yeah, we do that too.
Being so
yeah, I mean, I guess that's
so
okay.
sweet.
Can I melt people? Like, can I go full Wicked Witch of the West and just start melting people?
Oh my god! Do not even get me started. I have ruined my bloody TikTok feed because now it's Ariana Grande. I love her, but you know, there's only I don't need to be that popular. You know what I mean?
I'm convinced like the powers that be know what they're doing. I'm convinced that they're all like tied into each other because Wicked has gone ham with their marketing. They've collaborated with bloody every brand under the sun.
Yes.
And it wouldn't surprise me that they've paid TikTok top dollar to be really pushing this sort of stuff on the algo. That is my hypothesis. So I think that we need to go and start a GoFundMe for Confessions of a Gamer Girl to get our content pushed on the algo there. If Ariana Grande can do it, COAGG can do it. That's all I've got to say.
We can pay to promote it, but like I must admit, like I've promoted a few reels before. It's very hit and miss. Like,
it's the game. It's basically gambling. It's basically lighting up the same elements in your brain. When your video does well, the gambling does, and that's what keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
Which a lot of games do. So there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of TikTok, I was going to say the TikTok Awards are currently on. We've got a number of lovely gaming peeps that were invited, having little parties, you know, whatnot. I don't know anyone personally who was nominated for an award. Yes, I don't know. Our invitation must have got lost in the mail.
It was clearly lost. That is unfortunate. We'll forgive them this time, but if it happens again, I'm just not sure that we can be so forgiving. It's quite rare, really.
A lot of categories actually missed out. So I'd be very intrigued because obviously content creation is quite open with what you can do and what you are. Everyone has their different genres. And I did see a lot of the medical side, healthcare, should I say, side of TikTok and content creation were actually left out of this year's award. So I'd be very intrigued if the gaming side was left out, because I will say I know that the algo on Reels and TikTok definitely put forward more if your face is in it, and there's certain like elements and criteria you have to match for like the algo to push your content forward. I definitely notice as a content creator, I suppose that I like to be, that if I take a clip from my stream, it does significantly worse than if I do like a comedy thing to do with gaming, or if I put up a clip of me chatting. Like the algo just absolutely hates gaming clips. It really does. And I don't know if it's the
worst thing
fact
is
that
they're pushing the gamers to get on there. Like that's why I think
yeah,
the thingamajiggy that I'm part of, group, I don't know what you call it, but no, like they're literally pushing. Like they have
yeah.
a category on TikTok when I go live to games. I can't change it.
They absolutely love the live aspect, but they don't like the self-promotion, which comes from clipping up. And I do notice that what does go, I won't say viral because viral is a bit of an overused word, but I think what is quite popular and what's quite pushed forward is it'll be a streamer uploading something and their caption or their font on screen will be like streamer freaks out, or in third person is essentially what I'm saying. Like it won't be like, you know, that feel when I freak out or whatever. It's not like that. It's third person is like streamer has a scary moment on the internet. It's like they want people to kind of lose that self-autonomy. They're like, no, we take you out of the equation and you have to be the funny ha-ha, but you can't be at the center of the funny ha-ha. Somebody else has to be, even if it's literally you uploading, just talking about yourself in third person. It's really interesting, and I find a lot of my TikTok or my reels when I come across streamers, they're either fantastic women in games. There's a streamer that I follow that for several months was breastfeeding and had a tiny little baby sitting with her when she was streaming, which is absolutely gorgeous. That was awesome. And then there's horror streamers because I like my horror genre. They always
gaming grandma. She's
yes.
They're like always, it's just always in third person. And I don't understand why there's the psychology behind take out the autonomy that you have as a creator and putting yourself in that. Because you can easily have the exact same caption being like, I freaked out when I accidentally said something. But no, it's streamer freaks out when they've been caught in this. Like, you know, it's the exact same caption.
There's a couple of things. So like one, streamer freaks out, you've got a keyword in there. So you got streamer and then the highlight, which is freaks out. Two, it makes it sound like somebody else is talking about you, which immediately drives hype rather than you talking about you. So I can see why they do it, but I can't tell you if it's effective.
Well, it's definitely effective, but I just think that it's driving this. I mean, it's getting a bit deep there, but I think that we feed this animal that is society and culture about our own perspective. Like you can't cheer for yourself, you can't celebrate your own successes, but if you talk about yourself in bloody third person, if I talk about Doom's fantastic achievements, well done on getting sent to the Wicked premiere, like fantastic, you're amazing, then, you know, that's met with fantastic, well done, clap, clap, claps. But if Doom goes, I'm so proud of myself, I got to the point where I got invited to the Wicked premiere, like, then people are like, oh, you're self-centered. Like, why? I don't understand why we feed society to be like, okay, well, actually, even put it as far as on TikTok, on Reels, talk about yourself in third person. It just hits better because society absolutely hates when we celebrate ourselves as a whole. I just don't understand why we continue it. We have to fight against it. We have to kind of be like, you know what? No, we are going to use this language because otherwise we're just going to continue to feed the beast. The beast is going to eat. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, Ellie, that's a very big soapbox. I hope that you're happy you got out of your system because that was obviously something that really, really bugs you, which, you know what, I totally get because when I was thinking about even just titling YouTube videos for the podcast, that's why I was always like, Gamer Girls React. So I actually did try it for a little while and I can't say for certain it didn't really make that much of an impact. So
see, for me, it's never registered as weird because when I write papers, I can't refer to myself. So I always have to refer to myself.
You have to write academically.
So I think I just got used to the whole like taking me out of it thing.
Yeah.
But that's a weird and very specific take.
Yeah, for sure. Look, it's you know, I remember a time where I was just a gamer and now I'm like, you know, I'm a manager and a broadcast manager and a digital asset creator and a scheduler and an interviewer.
Have we ever been the kind of women who could just be one thing? I don't think that's so suited
No,
any
of
of
course
us.
not.
Like, we are not good at just doing or being one thing. We are absolutely the kind of like, I don't know, accidentally driven and possibly accidentally motivated people who are going to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's
yeah.
true. It's just evolved.
Mhm.
Speaking of evolving, I've had a fantastic time this week in World of Warcraft. I have 3 characters now that are above 600 eye level, so bravo to me.
Damn.
So
Are you really proud
yes, very, very happy with that. Um, I have seen you streaming this week on TikTok quite a lot.
I have been. I really, really have been. Unfortunately, you guys know the drill. Twitch doesn't push you. It is what it is. There's like millions of people streaming on here, and it can be very difficult to actually be seen. So, one of the things I'm attempting to do, if I can manage to be a responsible human being and do it on time, is to actually post more TikTok stuff and more YouTube stuff and things like that. So I actually have an editor now. So that's amazing. So I'm gonna, when I remember to upload it, start putting up videos. And yeah,
that's amazing.
it's gonna be weird. Hey, like I'm most of my words have to be beeped out. I swear a lot. So I'm like, crud.
You're not allowed to?
No, not
Or
on
do you
TikTok.
get?
No.
So like a
And
duck
YouTube,
noise
not either.
or a cat
Well, I
meow?
think at the moment it's just been blooped, but I will have to do a funny noise of some kind because I say fucky wucky a lot, which is still swearing. Yeah, like I'll die in League and I'll be like, oh, I did a fucky wucky.
Okay.
And well, see, there's a
Bad
scale,
shade.
okay?
Bad.
So it'll start out as an oopsie doopsie, but if it was really bad, like I've clearly, walked into a bush that wasn't watered and I shouldn't have face checked. It's like, it was a bit of a fucky wucky, wasn't it? And that's not okay apparently. Because I'm not sitting there dropping the C-bomb. Like, that's not my vibe. But I'm gonna have some funny ass insults, and apparently they have to just be non-swearing. Thank you.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know how to deal with that. I'm Australian, and it's very difficult to not swear. Thank you.
It's hard. Ellie,
so
I know you put up a lot of like gaming comedy. Do you feel like you try and like take out some more like niche Australian humor? Like if you made stuff and like think, they're not going to get it because they're not Aussie?
No, not at all. I think that it comes down to I get that Americans dominate, especially the gaming industry, and a lot of the time with Twitch, your American target is the Americans are your target audience because they're quite a large user of Twitch. But I think that there becomes a time when your international element is charming, and I think that a lot of Australians don't necessarily have representation because when there is Australians that move over to the US and they end up being a bit bigger, then they lose their sort of Australianisms and bring it back. I think that we need to be proud of our boganism because that's what it is at the end of the day.
Listen, okay, next time I go full Aussie, I'm gonna just point at Ellie and be like, she encouraged this.
Yes, I think it's funny. I think at the end of the day, like there's not that many big Aussie creators. We are hitting that niche. I think we need to live, laugh, love. We have cousins in the UK. Yeah, we have cousins in the UK era, and they love us, they understand us, and we need to educate the world on how funny we are. So I'm not going to it's not dumb down, is it? I'm not going to not have our slang or any of that due to fear of being too niche or too Aussie. I think we're a fantastic demographic, and I'm going to continue representing that. And I'm kind of half English, half Australian. I think a lot of my slang or my sayings is between both lines, and I really enjoy that. I connect with a range of people from it, and I even get people who aren't from either of those countries saying, haha, I've learned a new word today. It's great.
Yeah, no, I feel, I guess it's not really like pride, but it's just, like, yeah, totally. Don't, water yourself down, even if we are just a bunch of true blue gaming Sheilas.
Yeah, I saw that. Go on,
That's
Dolphin.
it.
If I don't have that as a poster, I'll cry. I guess for me, like, it's because if I swear in these videos, like when I'm on TikTok, I get flagged for hate speech a lot.
Yeah.
Me. And I'm like, holy fuck, what did I say?
You're
And
hating on yourself.
I've literally just said something was dumb or I've sworn. And it's not at anybody. Like, that's the worst bit. It's not at anybody. And so I'm over here like, well, if you're going to keep bloody flagging me for it, then I'm going to have to stop. And that does genuinely alter the way that I interact. Because, like, my swearing is never at somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. Much like the example I gave before, I was like, I did fucky wucky. It's just at the situation. So
I will say that is not a specific Australian slang, just for any of our international
sorry, that's
listeners.
just me. That's
just a shaysm.
I'm on even for an Australian.
I actually, funny enough, this actually links into our topic for today, game adaptations. More specifically, talking about what makes a game adaptation successful and what doesn't. Now, when we talk about Australian games, one that I was really, really excited about was the Bluey game. Now, that obviously started as a show and then became a game, but that game wasn't made in Australia, which I was quite annoyed about.
Why not? We have so many gaming companies here that are actually genuinely fantastic. What the hell?
All I'm saying is, Devolver Digital, where were you? Okay, you would have made an. So yeah, the Bluey game wasn't made in Australia, which I was sad about. But
vibe on that.
I don't know, like, it was buggy, like it wasn't like a smash hit, but it my children enjoy it. Thankfully, they're the target audience there.
Wait, you mean it's not us? Oh. Okay. Puts game back. It's like, sorry.
But I think probably more often than not, we find video games turned into either TV series or video game, or film. Thank you, Ellie. And I think most recently, we have seen most recently, obviously, Arcane, Fallout. These are shows that are being nominated for so many awards. The Last of Us, huge.
The Last of Us. Oh my God.
Huge. Like, imagine, like, a AAA, quadruple A game. It's earned X amount, as a game, and then you like double, triple it because it's become a TV show. Then there's a movie, then there's an off spin, like, look at The Walking Dead. Huge, absolutely huge. And that didn't even start out as a game, wasn't it? Was it a graphic novel first?
Graphic novel, yeah.
So, like, the entertainment value around gaming is actually so incredible. But I'm not an expert in Arcane. I haven't actually watched it, and I don't play League of Legends. But it just so happens we do have an expert. Oh, Shane, please tell us what makes Arcane a fantastic game adaptation.
Okay, so for starters, before you bring in any sort of breakdowns, like case studies, anything, it's not garbage. There you go. The most base level, it's not garbage. Okay, I want you guys to think back to like the early Mario adaptation, like that movie.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah. That's it. The end. Thank you for listening, everyone. That's the end.
But the thing is, right, you can watch it and enjoy it. And the best thing is, you don't have to be a League player to watch and enjoy it, right? If you just want to go in there, you've never seen League in your entire life, you have no idea what it is, you don't care about gaming, you're still going to love this show. It is not locked to gamers. It is not locked to people with prior knowledge. Nothing like that. It's so inviting to new people. And that is obviously what they were trying to do. This is their business model, right? Very specifically, loses money on these endeavors to attract more people to their game, which is a really, fantastic business model. It clearly works, but it also works a bit better for consumers as well. So, I'm just saying I like it. But on top of that, when you really get into the show, I think at its core, the way it handles real personalities and truly difficult topics is fantastic. I also really enjoy, I spoke about this on my stream, but we always focus in movies and games and everything on the peak moments. So the times where we're strongest, or the times where we've just won, or some sort of thing there that makes us feel really hype. But what do you do afterwards when the PTSD sets in? What do you do afterwards when the situation's resolved? And probably not perfectly, because let's face it, nothing ever does. And you get to deal with the fallout. You get to deal with the very real consequences of injury and death. You get to deal with the very real consequences of losing people. Arcane actually deals with that, which is not what I was expecting from an Arcane adaptation. I was expecting big explosions, much wow, hot ladies, shiny stuff, and I got the most amazing emotional roller coaster ever that has genuinely written women in a way that isn't about men for once. I cannot express how much I love that. So I mean, Ellie Doom, you guys would know what I'm talking about, where women are written for the male gaze. Oh, she's hot. Oh, she really loves this one thing, so it's really easy to understand, and it's probably something that you love, blah, blah, blah. No, so these women are, well, they're hot, like they just are, but they're a different range of appearance. Okay, so there's no one person who fits an exact criteria, nothing like that. They are a complete range of humans, complete range of bodies, everything. And they have flaws. They have serious flaws that lead them repetitively into mistakes and issues, and depending on who they are, they may reflect, they may not. But the point is, they're real people. They're not just cardboard. They're not just there to be sexy. They're not just there for the men to be like, oh, I'll fight for you, let's go. They're like, bitch, I'll fight for my fucking self. Get out of my way. Like, what you doing? I'm gonna do it better. So without going, into spoiler territory, because I am very fearful of ruining this first experience for people, I don't think that there is a show that I could recommend more. And that's just on the storytelling side. The animation side, oh my god, I'm just gonna pack my shit up as an animator and piss right off, because I am not that's intimidating. Okay, the gorgeousness, the combination of 2D and 3D, the beautiful painting. They brought in so many different animation styles. There's actually one section that are legitimately charcoal drawings. Like,
wow.
What? And they're gorgeous, and it's of like full architecture and everything, and it serves beautifully to highlight the characters and not look janky or weird with the 3D, because that can be a bit sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, as a LOL enjoyer, and obviously you've watched this series and you've seen, these kinds of characters, come to life, be given meaning outside of just pew, smash each other's faces in. Do you think that it would be jarring for someone who had never experienced League of Legends to go from the TV show or the Netflix series to the game?
Sort of. So they've always had lore. That's not new. And you could always find it like in the game and stuff like that. It's not in where you play game. There's only hints of it, but you can always find their lore and stuff like that. They never just go, here's a character with nothing to them. They always have a big story about where they're from, who they know, what they've done in their life. Very, very D&D kind of thing. Now, if you were a player coming in and you didn't know what type of game you're getting into, then yes, that could be jarring, because this is a MOBA, which means that it's not an RPG, nothing like that. It's not about building up your character's personality. It's about what is the most strategic way that I can get items and fuck up their base over there. That being said, though, they have voice lines and interactions in the game, and those are fantastic. So certain characters will actually have certain lines when they first meet another character, and it can reflect their lore, it can reflect the skin line, that kind of thing. It changes depending on who you're playing. But I'm actually really curious to see some of the new voice lines that come in, especially. I won't say between who, actually, because that could be a spoiler.
Yeah, no.
But there's a few voice lines, and I'm like, you've got to be adding those. Oh my goodness. So there are little snippets of lore in the world, and there's definitely little snippets of lore in Arcane that if you didn't know League, and it's just a background element, if you didn't know League, you might not pick up on it.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Shay.
That's okay.
I just want to pause the conversation just for a second, and I just want to just have a little check-in with everyone, because I know for a fact that all three of us have been having some feelings and things going on in our life, and I just want to make sure everyone's okay. Ellie, are you okay?
Double thumbs up.
Double thumbs up.
Yeah, near the end of the year, it gets quite exciting. Like, I think it's that thing of like Rainbow Road before you have your ending. Like, everything just speeds up for a moment. Everyone's trying to shove things in before holidays, and it gets like pretty intense. But as long as you're along for the ride, like, it's fine. And, you know, you're looking after kind of your exhaustion level, it's fine. And I have never worked a job where I get the end of the year off. Some people do, some people don't. I've always worked through the end of the year. But this year I've kind of opted to take off a bunch of leave, which is really nice. So I'm kind of looking forward to the end of that. But at the same time, I enjoy the weather right now, and I enjoy this current, you know, phase of life. So I'm going with the flow, and it's been really nice.
Okay, excellent. No, because I know you posted on your Instagram story the other day about what was it you about burnout?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm experiencing at the moment, but I'm not trying to dwell in it and sit in it. I think previously it's been something where I'm like, it's so evident, it's, you know, affecting my work life, my home life, family life, personal life. It kind of really seeps in. But if you accept how you're feeling, which is burnout, which is pretty strong, that kind of hits, it's just a motivation thing, and it hits every aspect that you just don't have it. Once you accept that it's okay to give yourself a bit of grace with burnout, you feel a lot better with it. So I can sit and say, I don't really have time to enjoy passions at the moment. I don't really have time to enjoy my work, but it's okay that you can roll with that messy part. And it's okay to sit there and kind of, if you envision kind of sitting on a flotation device, but on like whitewater rapids, it's kind of a bit like that. It's like you could sit there and freak out, or you can just roll with it and know that you're going to hit the mouth of the river soon. And I think that's sort of the standpoint that I'm in at the moment.
Yeah. And I know, like you say, when you are feeling that way, you're kind of, I don't know, the most probably like a really watered down version of yourself temporarily, because you are going through those motions. You're still, you know, showing up. You still have to show up for your life. You know, sometimes passions like gaming, watching a favorite TV show, you know, of our favorite video game, like that definitely can go to the side, because, you know, we just don't have the energy for that.
Yep, totally. No, I totally agree. And it is that sort of acceptance level of being like, hey, I'm not showing up where I need to be right now. For me, like we discussed last week, there's easy things to take the back seat, which is for me, the content creation side of having fun. Streaming has taken a back seat, and although it hurts my soul in a way, I know that it's the right decision right now. Those pieces of me are needed elsewhere. And that's fine, because I will return to those things. Those things are waiting. Those things are quite patient. So it isn't the end of the world. And I think that a lot of us need to kind of hear the words of be kind on yourself. There are times to be hard on yourself to get your butt back into gear, but there's times where you need to realize you need to switch up gears and not be, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. There's a time to be like, you know what, I can do what I can do at the moment, and the rest will come back when it comes back.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Well, we love to see it, as always, here at Confessions of a Gamer Girl, but it's okay to rest. It's okay to, you know, prioritize things. And, you know, like I haven't had time to, you know, look at Arcane, even though it's been everywhere, including, you know, at one of my favorite stores, Black Milk. Shout out. We're willing. We're open. Please collab. Thank you. Hashtag.
Everyone, tag fucking Black Milk and tell them to hang out with us, because these are doing what we do. Oh, Arcane has done so many collaborations with freaking everything from chairs to makeup to clothing. Like, it's insane. They're doing that marketing. And
we love
I need it all. I do.
Yes. So the way you feel about that is how I feel about Wicked.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I understand the passion completely. I'm like, no, I'm keen. Yeah. You're like, I want it. I don't need it. I want it. Yes.
Okay. So I think for me with Arcane, because like, the question that I asked you is like, the game is so different from
Yes.
the TV
And
adaptation,
keep
and
in
then
mind,
like,
there's several League games.
yeah, but it's not exactly, like a adventure RPG horror like The Last of Us is, Ellie, is it?
Oh,
Like
well,
you can
it
certainly
depends.
see the cinematic value of that game compared to League of Legends, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely. So what it is League has its main game, which is the MOBA, but there's also the chess one, which is TFT, Teamfight Tactics, which is incredibly popular. There's also a Yordle spin-off, which is like a cozy Stardew Valley kind of thing. There's a fighting game coming out, which looks freaking amazing. There is 2 story-driven games as well. So they are really doing a good job of expanding their world and attempting to give it a lot more depth.
Yeah. Well, good for them. But
Mm.
it's clear, like I can only imagine, like they, obviously they know that, League of Legends has this, I guess, identity already.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess they were trying to kind of show that, the game is, grown up. It's not what you see
Yeah.
on social media as much.
It's hard, right? So they're like, hey, yeah, this is grown up, but not too grown up, because Arcane actually had to have some of its scenes removed because they would have upped the rating a little bit too much. And
Oh,
League
okay.
is in other countries, I think here as well, it's M. So you can play it as a teenager, like late teenage stage, essentially. And yeah, I just saw a thing as well. Arcane, of course, has been released around the world. It was released in China as well, and unfortunately, they removed all scenes regarding Vi and Caitlyn being a couple, which shits the hell out of me because they're the main couple of the entire goddamn thing, and they're freaking cute.
There you
So,
go.
you know, just love that.
Look, well,
Yeah.
there are some. China's a communist country, so their government
That's a
can.
wild ass place.
I've been there. I had to talk to all my friends on WhatsApp.
Yeah, because like
Can't have
Facebook and stuff
Facebook.
isn't.
There was nothing
Yeah.
else, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was good in the sense that, like, for calls, I could call through there. But yeah, and apparently China is shutting down the Nintendo eShop. So there you go.
Why? That
I don't
is
know.
wild.
Who
That's
knows?
insane.
Who
Wow.
knows?
Again, that is wild. Holy crud. But
But yeah, okay, so it's okay if it changes itself, adds more depth into its identity, as long as it's done really well.
Yes, and I
but-
think they have done a phenomenal job. Like, we don't have better animation than what we've just seen. They
Yeah.
went and they got a French animation team. The French are known for being astounding animators. Their top animation school in the world is French. And they didn't skimp, okay? There were millions spent on this, and they got what they paid for. I can confidently say they genuinely got what they paid for, and it was beautiful.
So what would you say that made it beautiful? Would you say that it's the flow or just the general sort of graphic design, the colors?
I would say the attention to detail in literally every shot. So every shot, you can clearly define the design methods. So whether that's rule of thirds or the squirrely boy, I forget what it's called. I know I teach this, don't at me. Everything is deliberate.
The golden
Yeah, the
thingy.
golden ratio. Yeah, you've got those very clearly in there, but not so clearly that they're distracting. But you're like, wow, I can really see that they're like grasping their design principles here, and they're really at the forefront of their mind. Their animation is, of course, beautiful. All animation principles were employed with just perfect, absolute perfect. And that's before you get to colors or story writing or anything like that. But everything is so deliberate. Every shot, every pan, every little movement, every tiny, tiny background detail planned and executed wonderfully.
It's sweet. Those sorts of things are quite sweet, especially in the times of AI, where you can kind of type in a request and it kind of spits something out. Whereas,
they got mad at AI.
well, I think the limit of continuality as well, like people love either remembering it or not remembering it. Like in Bob's Burgers, there's an episode where Bob goes and gets a tattoo, and then like several episodes later he takes his jumper off and the tattoo is still there. But you look at something like an institution that is The Simpsons, and they don't have that continuality. Like they wouldn't even have that within its own episode, let alone the episode afterwards. And it depends what you want. Like if you want that sort of rope watching, which is The Simpsons, you know, you want something to happen in one thing but not the other, that's fantastic, that works. But there is a community of people, which would include myself, where you sort of want that limit of, I want these story makers, the narrative drivers, to remember what they've done. I don't want them just chucking out what's relevant. I don't want them just telling me what they think I want to watch. Like, I want them to care about their characters in the way of, like, someone could twist their ankle a little bit in season 1, and then season 2 that they're like, oh, you know, that root really screwed me up, you know, when I twisted my ankle on the tree root, you know, like
they actually do that.
Yeah,
It's
so it's
amazing.
quite beautiful, and it's quite in a world where we can continue to be a bit faster or use things like AI. It's kind of lovely that they almost, you can kind of picture a big binder of like, okay, this is what's happened. This is what you can refer back to.
Here we are.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
No, but can you imagine how messed up Homer and Bart would look after all of the injuries they've received?
They would
look messed up
so many times. So on the topic of Arcane and AI, Netflix apparently attempted to edit a poster just to work a bit better with like their layout and stuff like that, but they used AI. Oh boy, was that pulled down so quickly, and they were in so much trouble. No. The Riot team and the animation team that did Arcane do not stand for AI taking over anything that they've done, which I am so here for. And I love that they were so open, quick, and like just firm with it. They were like, no, not now, not ever. Don't you fucking dare. And I was like, "Oh, nice, good. I like it."
They are the group of people that can do that, though, because the way I see it is AI is quick, it is cheap, and it is good, right? And so art is one of the most expensive things that you can purchase on the planet, because at the end of the day, like, so many people can probably do similar, not the exact same, but similar styles, similar, you know, content. But in a world where people are struggling for money, they're so quick to be like, I'll just get AI to do it instead of hiring a human. And when it comes to wealthy institutions such as Netflix, babe, sorry, but you're going to have to sit. No, you're going to have to vlog that money. You're going to have to sit on the knowledge that you have to hire people. Don't care about how many corners that you can cut. Sorry, you're rich. Like, you don't get to do that. Someone with a lot less money. Someone with a lot less money can sit there and like toss up and justify like, oh, I really, you know, I need to do this for whatever reason, starting a small business, whatever. They can get away with it. But like someone as large as Netflix and Riot, like, good. They need to sit there. They need to set that standard, because I think that someone quoted not too long ago, and I think a lot of people stand by it. It's like, AI should be here to like clean my house while I go and create art. They should be creating art while I clean my house. And
I should have a fully automated kitchen that I just press buttons and food comes out. You know what I mean?
On it. Like, we're working on automating our house.
Like, it's so right. And like, we shouldn't be making machines do the only part that we are good at, and that is
makes
connecting.
us human.
And that that is making art from the soul. Like, they should be in there like cleaning my pots and pans. Like, come on, iRobot, come through.
Oh gosh. Okay. So one of my favorite game adaptations, Fallout TV series. Not that I'm not like the biggest hardcorest, had lots of hours in Fallout, but I think for me, seeing Fallout's universe, it's so unique, and to see that actually come to life in a TV show was so amazing. Like,
this is a good TV show too, like by itself, because I haven't played a whole heap of Fallout. So I went into that like, am I going to know what the hell's happening? Oh my God. More, please, more.
And I think, just that excitement from something going from something that's created digitally to then putting humans in that place, like seeing the power suits, like they were incredible
Cool.
and so and really, really spot on, and they did it really, really well. And even though people were like, oh, you've obviously, you've created a specific story around a female protagonist, like people might think, oh, that's woke culture or whatever, but like they weren't going to win anyway, regardless, because Fallout, you create your character, you live that journey. So they had to tell a story from an already made character. I think also having really, really, really high quality Easter eggs throughout, whether it be like references to like really niche missions or even like recreating a character from inside the game who's like particularly iconic into the Fallout series. Like I think that is really, really cool when that is done.
And they kind of like need to do that in a way. Like I would argue that, today with our streaming services, you can't really target your show to one sort of demographic. You couldn't target it to just gamers because sure, it's going to go viral within that community, but how are you supposed to, as a gamer, discuss like, how would I talk to my mother and be like, hey, come on, babe, come and watch this. It's based on this video game that I like. And especially like the intergenerational issue, they're going to be like, okay, I don't even really play video games, but all right. Like they've created themselves a border. And then you've got just young people that don't game, a border. Like kids that don't game those sorts of games, a border. Like you don't want to put up those sorts of borders from a film and television standpoint. You have to open it up to everybody. So there's this kind of seesaw of, you want to have it so the gamers are like, hee, I know that, but also non-gamers can come and watch it, or someone like me that is a gamer. I have not played the Fallouts. It's something that I'd be like, oh, I actually would really appreciate playing this, but I just have not gotten around to it. I could kind of like click on something, but I'm not going to get an inside joke, unless I really knew what was going on. So from a film and television standpoint, they're kind of twisted at the wrist to be able to be like, we kind of have to include a lot of separate sorts of people, not just gamers, but having those sort of like little nichey things in there is so beautiful. So for me personally, it's the Uncharted movie. Now, was I livid from the second I saw the casting? Yes, because I'm an absolute film junkie. I'm a film nerd. And so when it comes down to mixing two passions of mine, which is film and video games, I get a bit defensive. Mark Wahlberg, baby girl, why are you here? Conversation. One of the, I guess you can call it an Easter egg, couldn't you? But when Drake, which is Tom Holland, he lands on the beach and he is starting to walk inland, he comes across some random fella that's like chilling on the beach and he asks him a question that doesn't really stick out to me, but that was the voice of Drake. So the actual character Tom Holland is playing, the voice of Drake in the video games. He asks him a question and they have a really brief interaction with each other. So to the average person who wouldn't know it, totally fits in with the film, fits in with the theme. There's no issues here. But for someone who has played it and who knows a bit more, so a bit of a fan theory, knows who's voiced it, they're like, I see what you did there. And it's beautiful. It makes your little dorky heart sing. You're like, oh my gosh, I get that.
It's almost like they're breaking the fourth wall, isn't it? Is that what they call it? It's kind of.
It's like yes and no. It's like breaking the fourth wall-ish, like the eighth wall, if anything. But definitely, they're definitely breaking something. But that to me is like really, really fun of a little like gaming and film.
Oh, we don't have things enabled. Are we,
guys? We've just received our first raid as COAGG podcast.
Wow!
Hello, welcome in, everybody. Quietly reading the chats. Oh, I'm so sorry. We were not quiet. You're our first raid, so we had to call you out.
Sorry, I don't have the bells and whistles. I'm really, really sorry.
We'll get them set up. Don't worry.
Thank you so much, Jack with the fingers.
That's
love your work, mate. Well, I'm sure in another universe there is a Jack with fingers. There's
I think without fingers, because this one has fingers, so they've taken them from the other universe. I can only assume.
yes, that makes sense. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. We are Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. Our names are here, so I don't even need to say them. They're amazing. All of the links to the girlies are down below. We have a podcast every single week on Monday evenings, and we talk about video games.
Wednesday evenings. It's
Wednesday
not
evenings.
Yeah, it's not Monday.
Oh fuck.
I know. It's the end of the year where
I'm
every
just
single day has
gonna
blurred
climb
together.
under the table. Just excuse me.
It's okay. I got a cool shot of the Warcraft tattoo. I'm pleased.
Oh, you got a double.
Yeah,
You
I got to see it. I was like, excellent, perfect. Yeah, no,
Yes, I'm
also
glad
it's Wednesday and not Monday because I would cry.
That's another topic that we definitely should do is gaming tattoos, because I want an Until Dawn
Yes.
tattoo and I am stumped at what I want. Like there's so many like obvious tattoos in
Yeah.
whatever, game that you like that you can like for Until Dawn, a lot of people have Beth's butterfly tattoo because she has
Oh, that makes sense.
Hannah, sorry.
Oh.
She has a butterfly tattoo. So a lot of people have that tattoo, but that's too obvious for me. I don't want to be matching with thousands of people around the world of the same tattoo. No,
So-
I need my Rigi Digi.
I've been looking at tattoos, gaming tattoos specifically. So I'm not the kind of person who wants to get stuff that specifically has a meaning, and I don't really want stuff that's like from a franchise and stuff, because we've seen how badly that can go wrong. And also it's just not my style. Like I've got my one tattoo that's like fine line and everything. But Arcane uses a oh my goodness, words are escaping me. They use an Art Deco style, but it's a modernized Art Deco style. So Art Deco is not just for architecture; it can also be clothing, makeup, all that kind of thing. Like it can spread. So Art Deco with fine line, like on the right shoulder, I think would be. If you guys have seen Arcane, Mel is decked out in gold tattoos, similar style, but not gold, because honestly, I don't like gold.
I wish that
Not
was
on
a thing
me.
though. I wish gold
Yeah.
tattoos was a thing. Ever since I saw
Yes.
Hunger Games and the people of the Capitol had like gold tattoos, I was like, oh, I wish that was a thing. I know that people do glitter tattoos now, but
Really?
they're not really glitter. And by the end of it, they kind of look like hundreds and thousands more than glitter, but still
They can be
beautiful.
speckly.
Obviously, still beautiful.
On
But
speckles.
I would love
yes.
gold.
We should definitely do gaming tattoo episode. That'd be
That would
fantastic.
be very cool.
Yes.
That would be too influency. I would get them all. I'd get them all.
We'll
I'd
get
be
a
influenced.
tattoo artist on.
Yeah. Oh god, can we specifically a gaming tattoo artist or anime one? Oh my goodness.
No,
All right, guys,
Shay, if that exists, I've been searching for a gamer tattoo artist in Melbourne for so long. No, well, at least not in Melbourne. They don't advertise themselves as gamer tattooists though. Because maybe in Brizzy, but like I've been looking for one in Melbourne because, like I said, I've been trying to find an Until Dawn tattoo, but I want to go to like a literal artist and be like, this is the game that I love. This is like the few elements that I love. Like, you're a gamer, you've played the game, like let's like bounce off each other rather than me giving an artist like a bunch of elements and they coming up with a beautiful tattoo. Like it's more different. Like I want to like brainstorm with an artist, because obviously I'm not an artist. I want to brainstorm with them being like, babe, let's put our little wrinkly brains together and let's come up with something that's original and not every second person has on hashtag Until Dawn tattoo. That's my vibe.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have it in Melbourne, but up in Queensland we have something called the Tattoo Expo, and there are specific tattoo artists who specialize in games or anime or a mixture, and that is what they're known for. In fact, their entire store looks like, or like their entire vibe and theme and everything looks like a gaming store, but they're actually a tattoo artist. It is gorgeous. I've followed like a whole bunch of them, so I'll send them to you, and you can just come visit me.
Please do.
Sleep over at Shay's
I might just have to.
house.
I'm coming up to Brizzy. I'm sleeping over with you and Daddy Rico, and it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be great.
I'm going to be in the middle with Tank, and it's it's going to be phenomenal.
You joke, but that little cat. Well, I say little, he big. He wants them cuddles. Okay.
Yeah, and I got him for free.
Oh my god, perfect.
I charge for
Thank
mine.
you.
Just putting that out there.
Okay, well then you'll probably hang out with Dawn more because you know what, she's got a similar vibe.
Tank
all right.
doesn't have pockets. He can't hold the gold coins. He sits on them like a goblin.
No, that's Dawn. She hoards the catnip like an actual dragon. So I would believe that she would do it for gold as well, because that will get her catnip, and she's a little nip fiend. So there you go.
One of my boys is a nip fiend. Mhm.
Look, I'm sure
get
we
it.
have a lot of nip fiends around here. Yeah. Sorry, I had to say it.
Welcome in, everyone. Okay, so what we've just discovered, everyone, is big sleepover in Queensland. We're all getting gaming tattoos together. It's the only way. It's the only way, I'm afraid.
This
Gonna
is
have
the
to do
way.
It's
it.
the only way.
We're going to
This
start up
is
the
the
Pinterest
way.
board. I'm going to categorize that entire goddamn website.
Done.
It'd be great. Yeah.
Easy.
Stunning.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about Tom Holland as in like what's wrong with him playing that character. But
What's wrong with him? Poor Spider-Man. Poor Spider-Man. He's just smoldering.
So much anger when he was cast. And like, keep in mind, so I hadn't
why?
really...
What is
I know
this
how-
hate?
wasn't he the wrong age or something, or just not quite the right vibe?
He's not the wrong age, more just like baby girl is not as rugged. I'm Soza. He is he's not that rugged. The thing that I had with Mr. Tom is fantastic action adventure man, actor, absolutely fantastic, does his own stunts, that adds to another level of immersion. So cannot fault the man. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he is very, very talented,
But he wasn't grown enough.
he just takes you out of it. And do I dare also blame the makeup department on that? Like, it doesn't take a couple stipples to age him a wee bit. Like, I get where they were coming from, but I'm sorry, but like Mark Wahlberg was a cardinal sin. He was not Sully. He is a cardinal sin.
No, I
He's
agree
not
with that.
Sully.
I agree with
On
that.
top of like the accent and like his way, like Sully is, yes, he is a silver fox, but it's just it's like having, you know, Vegemite and jam. Like, they're just different vibes. Is Sully and Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, so what we needed Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? Like, would that have been
He's just such a specific look. Like, if I had a moment, like I could really think about who I would prefer. Like, Tom Holland nailed it in the way of like stunts and stuff, but I think it really threw me off the way he looked, because if we also talk about like people, like Deadpool, right? If you had like like Deadpool being green, like, would you really be like, oh, I mean, I guess he's still like quippy and funny, but he's green. Juggernaut. If Juggernaut was like 6 foot instead of being like 9 foot, would you be like, oh, I mean, I guess, but it wasn't really Juggernaut? Like, I feel like it just missed the core element that was my man's, that was him, that was Drake. And it's just something that you can't paint on. Like, it just has to be what you are.
There's definitely some alternates to Tom, right? So don't get me wrong, I think Tom's a fantastic actor. He's phenomenal.
Exactly.
Funny dude. But
of course.
You know, there's like Jensen Ackles and stuff like that who would have suited the role a lot better, because they are older men. They do have some of that wrinkling there and that ruggedness just built in because of their age. And like, so we see it a lot with women in films and stuff like that. Younger women are always cast for older parts because we can't let people see that women age. Oh my God.
No. Yes, and vice versa.
But we don't want to encourage that for men either. Like, it's a human thing to age, and we should be casting people who are at least reasonably the correct age or correct look for what we're going with. Like, you know, if you're going to cast some 40-year-old dude, cast a 40-year-old dude, yo. Like, it's fine. Do it.
Maybe maybe it was like, cost. Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe, but like, look at Euphoria though. Like, Euphoria is obviously a high school drama, absolutely fantastic show, and bless them, but they're like late 20s playing teenagers, right? Because if you look at these actors back when they actually were the age that they are portraying, they look like babies, and at the end of the day, there's an element of, are they legal? Can I sexualize them? There is that element, like genuinely, there is that element. And so
I may or may not have had to look up Tom Holland's age because he's, he's very young as Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, is he a
But
teenager?
he has a baby
and then
face.
I found out, he does. But he's actually,
but he was like 20 at the time. Like I think on Spider-Man 1, he was like 20 or something.
That's okay. That's allowed.
Yeah, like he was, but he was the closest ever. Like Andrew Garfield, my husband, he played Spider-Man, which was a 17-year-old at like 28. Like they just don't match it up. And you can get deeper into it, of course, with how it messes with people's like sense of self and whatever.
It really does. It messes with people's ability to understand and tell a person's age by looking. Like there's always going to be a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
But
it's also
I'm
like,
going to need some ID. Do you have a passport?
Should they look the way that they look, Like you look at like any of those kids, you look at Tom Holland playing Drake, and it's almost like the opposite, because if anything, you're like, oh, should I be looking like that at 17 when these people are looking like me playing a 17-year-old? Hello, fellow children in like a high school locker area. And then you almost have Mr. Tom Holland, bless his little cotton socks, playing Drake when Drake is meant to be like this rugged, I don't even know what age in that, because that game was the film. I don't know what age. Like I want to say early 30s. Like that's kind of what I want to say. Like early 30s.
To get the crow's feet, so I'm gonna say early 30s.
Yeah, I want to say early 30s.
Does that?
But Tom Holland isn't even 30 yet, and so if you're not even near the age of what you're portraying, then well, obviously because Uncharted is like a few years old, then you're not gonna look like the age that you're trying to portray. So my also like little conspiracy theory tinfoil hat moment was they're capitalizing on, oh my god, Spider-Man is in also this other film, let me go and see it, because they did that exact thing with Zac Efron in like the 2010s. They put baby girl in everything, because some people, not me, are going to go and watch a movie with Zac Efron because it's got Zac Efron in it, and they know what they're doing. Hello, like Harry Styles in 1917.
Hey, isn't that just like The Rock when he's like, he's in like an action film, 1 second it's a horror, 1 minute it's family friendly, like he's a babysitter,
Moana.
He's an action hero.
He was good, like, Moana though. Like, man, dude was like on it.
Brother knows what he's doing, but
of like he's singing along with the film with his actual parts, and his daughter's like, "Shut up, daddy."
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to Maui.
Yeah, like damn, I see kids. You're getting told by your kid.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does his job, and The Rock is forever aging. We love The Rock. I mean, next Min Baby Girl is going to be in a video game. Although I did hear that the Jumanji video game was good.
Yeah, sorry,
surely not. He hasn't been a wrestler in years.
No, I don't think he's been a wrestler in a long time. But Rico, my partner, was really into him as a wrestler. So apparently he was quite good, and he played the villain side.
He was.
I'm not familiar with wrestling.
He's got this. This. Let me do it. What's cooking? What's cooking?
Like, relax there, mate.
Ellie, I totally understand. Jack with the fingers has said, I think a big problem with adaptations is that players have had hundreds of hours with these characters. So larger deviations throws you out of the experience. So if you've played, with, on Uncharted and you're with this, rugged adventurer, and then you watch the film and it's a teenager who looks like he needs his mum, then that's probably going to be off-putting. So casting is really, really important.
Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, you look at The Last of Us, and like Joel doesn't really look like Pedro Pascal. I think you would almost argue that they're different nationalities as well. But Pedro Pascal, like, he nailed it. He nailed Joel. Like, he was so good. And then Ellie, Bella, like, they portrayed Ellie to a bloody T. And do they look like a bit different? Like, of course they do. Like, they're just two different humans. But Bella absolutely nailed how Ellie is portrayed. And I think that I would not want anybody else playing Ellie. And I think that also we have discussed
Honestly, for
several
Ellie,
times on this
it was going okay.
podcast. Yeah, we have discussed several times on this podcast that gamers are the most delicate human beings, that people sook over the smallest itty bitty thing in the world. And you could have Elliot Page playing Ellie to a T, absolutely nailing them. And people would still be like, oh, but this, that, and the other. Because at the end of the day, these characters are not real. Like, we need to realize that if we're talking about Ellie from The Last of Us, she was probably designed by one team, voiced by Ashley, other written by somebody else. Like, these characters are built by like 20 odd, if not more people. Like, they're not going to be able to be represented by one person, one actor. Like, it does not work like that. You're going to receive hate no matter what way you look when you are representing a gaming character. That's fine, because
their own experience was with it already.
You're also going to receive the love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to also receive the love. There's going to be people worshipping you at your feet, and there's people going to be like, oh, not necessarily what I pictured. Let me say, like, Pedro Pascal, not necessarily who I pictured play Joel, but stunning, perfect, 10 out of 10. The way that he embodied that kind of like standoffish country, I will die for my daughter, but I would never tell her.
Yeah, like, I can't tell her I care, but also anyone so much as looks at her funny, I swear to God.
Stunning. And so to that point where I've already roped in like several people to have a watch party with me for The Last of Us 2, because no spoilers, but the first episode might be interesting. Randomly, it might be interesting, so I might need to have friends and vodka and popcorn with me. No specific reason.
Can we dunk the popcorn in the vodka? I'm just saying.
Yes, jelly shots. No specific reason as to why, but maybe.
No,
just because. Wonderful. Well, you know what? It's actually been really fascinating hearing what you all think is important for game adaptations, and I really hope that in the future we have many, many more. The one game adaptation that, looking to the future, that wasn't thinking it was going to be that great, but I have a little bit more hope now, and that is the Minecraft film. That's released next year. I know, Ellie. I know. That is exactly how I felt. I know. Calm down. Okay. Ellie, what if I told you that Jack Black is in it?
That's not helping.
Sorry, but Jack Black is not the Band-Aid of the world. But I will say, Doom, you have mentioned before that you teach your students Minecraft. You're very passionate about Minecraft. So I can see where you're coming from. Minecraft for me is just overconsumption, marketing in my face, blocks that look ugly. So not for me. But I appreciate that you've got a connection with it.
I see it as a vehicle for learning and social things. Okay. So yes, that's why I'm very critical on how they're going to go about adapting this block game into a film, and like an hour and a half, 2 hour film. We also have the Sonic 3 that's coming out as well.
Apparently the Sonic
who is
films are
asking for that?
I don't know who asked for Sonic.
No, literally a lot of people are
asking for more
so
Sonic?
into it. And apparently the films are genuinely good, which I had a very hard time believing. But I keep hearing from people that they're genuinely good, and I'm like, okay.
The fact that the world cyberbullied the developers of the Sonic film to change the way Sonic looked is forever millennial curse.
Great. Look at them.
I love
the way that he had like tiny little human eyes, and then they changed it to be Sonic eyes, and he looked better. Like, I'll give it to us. Like, he looked better. But we cyberbullied a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company. Go back and redesign it.
Yeah,
I love that for us.
I'm feeling that we might need a Sonic watch party. This is what I'm thinking.
All right, but I'm gonna be.
I'll bring the vodka.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them either.
Join that, like.
Hey, doesn't it have old mate? The mask. What? Jim
Jim Carrey?
Carrey.
Yeah,
Isn't he
apparently
in it
does a
as
very
Oh,
good
he's the
job.
bad guy.
Yeah.
Exablot or whatever his
Like
name is?
Eggman or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oxalot.
Clearly, we're good with our Sonic guys. Don't worry. Listen, I know Tails, and that's the only one I need to know. Amy is a cow, and I will not hear otherwise. Thank you.
Yes, I do have Sonic on PlayStation 5, but it is something that I
Sure.
have not been desperate enough to bust out next to
You're just
Lawnmower
like,
Simulator.
oh,
So
oh boy, oh that bad.
Look, it's
Yeah.
certainly a bit far down on the list of my gaming library. But yeah, look, the future is bright in some areas of gaming adaptations, and you know, we all have our preferences, and we will continue to do so. So
And Borderlands didn't happen, as I've mentioned in
no,
chat.
I haven't watched it,
It's
and I
going-
refuse.
It's going in the same basket as the first Avatar: The Last Airbender live action adaptation. It never happened.
Ong.
It doesn't exist.
What's wrong with
We're just-
Ong?
Okay,
Ong.
I'm going to paint you a picture. I was so poor back when that film came out that I had to skip meals because I genuinely couldn't afford to eat. But I saved up enough to go and see Avatar: The Last Airbender in cinemas because I loved it so much as a cartoon. I got there, and it's the first film I ever walked out on. I could only get through the first hour, and I was like, this is shit. And I left. And that was such a hard blow because I knew how hard I had to save up for that and what I had to sacrifice. And I got there, and it was garbage. So I will forever hold a grudge against that shit movie. Thank you.
Fair.
Oh dear.
No.
Maybe we should have started here. We should.
No, we shouldn't have. It doesn't exist, remember? I just said that. Guys.
Sorry. Maybe that's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
it
you were
doesn't
like,
exist.
I know it's horrendous, and I would never do that to Shay. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see, Jack with the fingers has got it. They never made an Airbender movie. I don't know what you're talking about. Exactly. We were uninformed in this. We misremembered. It never existed, and you're very right.
My gamer crystal ball. I'm looking into it, and I'm feeling that that's how I'm going to feel about the Minecraft film. But I'm welcome to be proved wrong.
Yeah,
Please
good.
prove me wrong, Mojang.
Wrong.
Please. Yeah. Anyway, that's all we have for you today, gamers. And Shay, Ellie, doing anything exciting? Crawling to Christmas, I assume.
Well,
just a fraction. You go, Shay.
Well, it's my birthday before it's Christmas, so I have to remember to do things for that. But I think Rico was going to take care of that. I don't know. My partner said he'll. I don't know. It's just
woohoo!
I got to put things together for people, and I'm having a low spike at the moment, or low dip at the moment. So the idea of putting together a social gathering is like,
please no. Thank you.
And then I got to chuck up friend miss and stuff. Glitch, your birthday is the 27th of December. Oh man, I feel you. Mine's the 17th, so you're 10 days after me. Oh, I feel you, man. But other than that, people are actually starting to receive their prizes from the 4,000 follower giveaway. So I'm so hyped to see what they what they're gonna make and how they paint things. Like I have to see. Other than that though, just streaming and having a really good time. Like honestly, stream has been a vibe recently. Like we've gotten some interesting and unique comments, but I find it beautiful how quickly my community is like, not here. I don't think so. And that gets yeeted real quick. It's so funny. The entire community just turns as one and goes, "That is not the vibe." And I'm like, "Oh boy, you should leave."
You, Shay.
Now.
I love that. You don't even need to say anything. Those people just get like peer pressured and bullied out.
Oh, they usually try and fight back harder by saying more horrendous things, and my entire chat is like, "Okay, you're definitely not fitting here. You need to leave." And my mods come in, they're like, "We're going to protect you by making you go away, or you will be eaten. Thank you."
Wow.
So it's very nice. It's very wholesome. And it's only for people who are pointedly and definitely being heinous, like proper. Yep. But hey, the joys of being a streamer, you get the really amazing community, and then you get occasional people who are just not getting that shit's not going to stand. So
yeah. I'm getting less. I'm personally getting less of that lately, which is great. I think it's because I don't use it to create content. Maybe if I leaned into that, I'd be more internet famous. Not that I want to be internet famous, but You know what I mean? Like more people would come here because they think I'd like, I don't know, harass them. Maybe some people are into that, you know?
Some people are, they really do love the attention, whether it is positive or negative. And it's funny to a point, and then it becomes sad. And you're like, oh, you should just go now because this is weird.
For
But
sure.
Ellie, what are you getting up to? Are you doing adventures and things?
Yeah. So I'm gonna see how far my PlayStation Portal stretches over this weekend. I'm going away for a few days, so I'm gonna see if my PlayStation Portal holds up to it, which is super exciting. I know that it needs a pretty strong internet connection to be able to connect with my PlayStation back here, as I'm going a few hours away. But I'm so excited to game in a different location. And I know genuinely, that sounds so silly, but I am a big bath girl. I love my baths, and my portal really works. She shows up for me in the tub.
In the bath.
In the bath. So I love having a bath, and I love having my snacks and playing in my portal. So it'd be really, really sweet. I'm going away with a few friends. It'd be really, really sweet to have that kind of quiet time just before you fall asleep, to play my portal, to really test it out, to see if I can get her to work when I'm a few hours away from my actual PlayStation. So I'll let you know, but it makes me excited to test out a bit of tech.
Yes,
so that's what I'll be up to.
I would love to actually see that. I don't own one, but like, do you have to keep the PlayStation 5 on, like connect it? You're like, bye, I'm going away. And then it talks to the other one. It's like, I can control you as long as we're connected to the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. So it just has to be in sleep mode. So it just has to be asleep. And then when I turn on my portal, wherever I am, it turns on my PlayStation, and it's just essentially like screen mirroring. It's just streaming. So it's literally just nicking it over there over the internet. So it just, as long as I've got a good internet where I am, because obviously my home internet is quite good. If I have decent internet where I am to receive that signal, then we should be cooking with gas. I've been playing Spider-Man 2, and I need to be I need to continue it.
So what happens though if your little man, who is now obsessed with the colorful button, decides to hit the colorful button?
Well, he will be with me, so he won't be touching my console. Yeah. He won't be touching my console. It's my portal that I protect. But I actually asked for Santa to bring me a portal case for Christmas, because I've taken my portal to several places. But I have like held it. I'm like, I'm not putting it in my backpack. I'm not putting in anything. Like, do not fucking touch it. Don't put your greasy little handprints on it, or nothing. And I've taken it. So I need a case, like a full-on like hard knock case that I know you can get a few ones. And I'm hoping there's a few cool ones over on Etsy. I haven't looked because I just hope Santa knows my vibe. Maybe a couple skulls. That would be pretty cool. So
I hope Mr. Ellie is watching, just so that they can relay to Santa, of course. So Mr. Ellie, take notes.
Mr. Ellie. Yes, Mr. Ellie, Mr. Shay.
Thank you.
Me. Yes.
I'm not continuing to exist. It's top tier.
Do you know what? I actually jumped into I just dipped my toes into the remastered Spyro, which is on Xbox Game Pass.
Yes, I saw.
If you liked it back in the day, because I think you can speed run that, right? Is that that's speed runnable? It looks it. Yeah, like you could go like pew like super fast, but I'm just like loving it. I'm like a little dragon. I'm just enjoying it by myself, and I am looking at potentially, maybe, I don't know, if Santa brings me a new motherboard and RAM, maybe I'll be able to like do some of my own gaming streaming.
You should set up a throne. You should set up a throne, which is how communities can gift people. And
Dunes has one.
And
I have
do
one.
you have your stuff on it that you
No.
that you would like? You need to put that on there and turn on crowdfunding, and then maybe Santa can get that to you a little faster.
Okay.
Because Ellie and I don't know what to get you for Christmas, so I'm just saying, like, you better turn that shit on for me.
Christmas at COAGG, yes. We'll sort it out. Don't worry. If you join our Discord, which was linked in the chat.
Last year.
We did it last year. We did a gift exchange using each other's thrones. So yeah, and we had like a price cap on it just so it was fair. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
That was lots of fun. That was
It
really
was.
lots of fun last year, getting randomly assigned another squad member of COAGG. That was
Yeah.
really, really cool, gifting each other because you get the choice, you know, like people have something that's cost $5 and they're thrown all the way up to like $100. And it's
Yeah.
really how much you can spare around Christmas. Everyone's obviously so thankful either way. I found it really, really fun last year, even though I accidentally asked for the wrong thing that didn't connect with my phone that I ended up giving to a fellow friend. I still got to like have that nice moment of gifting, but just
I'm
double
so keen
check
to
that
do this
things
Secret Santa
connect.
business.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Double
we'll
check
have to
that.
get that set up, I think, after this episode so that everyone's got time to
Great idea.
Yeah, sort that out. But like I'm keen. Let's do this. Let's do a Secret Santa.
Well, if you'd like to be part of that, please do join the Discord.
Yes.
Because yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
On that note, gamers, I hope you have a fun time wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time for another episode of Confessions of a Game Girl. Bye, everyone.
Woohoo.
Bye.